blue ain't the word for the way that I feel, and the storm's brewing in this heart of mine. This ain't no crazy dream, well I know that it's for real. You're someone else's love now, you're not mine. Crazy arms that reach to hold somebody new, while my yearning heart keeps saying you're not mine. My troubled mind knows soon to another you'll be wed, and that's why I'm lonely all the time. Take these treasured dreams that I had for you and me, and take all the love I thought was mine. Someday my crazy arms may reach to hold somebody new, but now I'm so lonely all the time. To hold somebody new, while my yearning heart keeps saying you're not mine. My troubled mind knows soon to another you'll be wed, and that's why I'm lonely all the time. To hold somebody new, while my yearning heart keeps saying you're not mine. My troubled mind knows soon to another you'll be wed, and that's why I'm lonely all the time. And that's why I'm lonely all the time.
Going way back with Monroe Crossing and Crazy Arms. And we've got actually from the band Monroe Crossing, the mandolin player, and so much more, Matt Thompson, on the phone with us today. Matt, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, good morning to you. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, we're thrilled. Now, I have to just really quickly say, while John and I are here, because John's my new co-host of less than a year, but at Monroe Crossing, we've been doing this show, I think now for this particular Artist Direct for 13 years. I'm pretty sure that someone from your group was on with us probably 12 years ago, maybe 11 years ago. It's been a long time. And so it was really thrilling for me to get a chance to have you guys back on again because a lot of years have passed. How long ago did Monroe Crossing get together?
We are in our 18th year now, believe it or not.
Yeah,
wow.
Congratulations. That says a lot for a band.
Thank you. Oh, it is. It's amazing. And we have 3 of the original 5 members.
Yeah. So I think one is the violin player, right?
Say that again?
One is the violin player?
Yeah, Lisa is our fiddle player, and her husband Mark is the bass player.
Yes.
And then we have the guy who was just singing on Crazy Arms is our second newest member, Derek, who plays guitar, and one of our 2 lead singers. And then the youngest member is our new banjo player. He joined when he was 18, but he's 24 now. His name is David.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, young adult years with the Monroe Crossing Band. That must be wonderful.
That's the way to do it. I have to ask, this album that you sent
right
us.
out of high school.
He did, really? Wow.
Yeah.
I have to ask, this album, speaking of he's joining out of high school, from what I'm looking at, all of these songs, these are like going back, these are like classic country and country western songs.
Oh, yeah, they're from the 50s and 60s, pretty much.
So
the golden era of country music.
So did you have to teach David all of these songs? Had he even heard them before?
Well, our banjo player, I've wanted to do this album for probably 18 years. And it just happened last year. And part of the reason is our banjo player is also a big fan of classic country music. So he knew all these songs already, inside and out.
Okay. Well, now that makes him look even wiser.
Yeah.
And what is the name Monroe?
We could have done a 10-volume set. It was hard narrowing it down to 14 songs.
I believe it. There's such a catalog out there of great music, and you Monroe Crossing. I know we know you for bluegrass, and so it's nice to hear the tie between the different styles of music, because they are very related, but they're not the same.
Yeah, I mean, today the difference between bluegrass and country is great, because country is more similar to rock and roll than it is to bluegrass. But, in the old days, bluegrass and country music coexisted very peacefully. And that's what I wanted to show in this album, was the similarity between classic country music and bluegrass.
Totally makes sense.
And where does the name Monroe Crossing come from? That's such a great band name.
Yeah, Bill Monroe and his Bluegrass Boys, the father of bluegrass music, back in 1946, they started playing this music, and we wanted a name that said bluegrass without the word bluegrass in it, because there's a lot of bluegrass this, bluegrass that. So I thought, what's synonymous with bluegrass? I thought Bill Monroe. We all met because of bluegrass, the 5 of us in the band, so we had a Monroe Crossing.
Ah, that makes sense.
Very nice.
We're talking with Matt Thompson.
It's the crossing sign, it's a person crossing the street, except it's a silhouette of Bill Monroe holding his mandolin.
I did like that. Who came up with that image?
Our bass player did.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's really smart. And I should say, for those of you that are listening, you're going to have your own Monroe Crossing if you're so able to tomorrow night, because they are going to be in the historic Potter Auditorium in Chatfield, part of the Chatfield Center for the Arts. Have you guys been able to play this venue before?
I believe we have, a long time ago.
Yeah.
Just like you said, the last interview was 12 years ago. Yeah. We got to make it so it's not so long in between.
Absolutely. But you guys stay pretty busy, though. You're touring quite a bit.
Oh, yeah. We haven't been in Minnesota much lately, because in January we did a month-long tour of the Southeast, Florida and Georgia and so on, and then took a cruise, a bluegrass cruise. We call it our Anywhere But Minnesota tour.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In January.
Yeah.
And then in February, we go on another month-long cruise, or trip that goes into March, of the Southwest, Arizona and California, and then we do another cruise. And then when we come back, we're hoping that winter is over.
Yeah, that's actually a genius. That's a genius tour plan. Whoever routes your tours should be given a raise.
I like the idea of a bluegrass.
We all love Minnesota, but 10 months out of the year.
Yes.
Not January, February.
Fair enough.
We're with Monroe Crossing here on Artist Direct FM 100.5, brought to you by our friends at Singing Hammers Construction, who I know would love this very, very much. So how many albums does Monroe Crossing have out at this point after this many years together?
I think we've done 17 now, so just about one a year.
That's crazy. You guys, that's not a small feat. I mean, it is hard to get together as a group, to pay for it, first of all, and then to decide what's going to be on it and go through the arrangements. Is there someone in the group that kind of takes the charge and kind of makes the natural leader, or do you find that you work really well as a very equal unit?
We describe ourselves as a bluegrass democracy. So we don't have a person in charge of everything. We all kind of have our own area of expertise. But as far as the mixing and the engineering, our bass player Mark, we record in his basement because nowadays you can do everything on a computer.
Good point.
A home computer. So he does all the mixing, but it is a lot of work making a CD.
Yeah.
It sure is.
Well, we're so excited that you've been doing it, though. I know, aside from the bluegrass music that you're doing and the touring that you're doing, the ability to have this music while you're driving through the countryside in your car can make any person feel a whole lot happier than maybe the day started. That's kind of what's important, don't you think?
Oh yeah, our number one goal is to send people home happy, and make them want to come back and hear more bluegrass.
So what can we expect for those that haven't been to a Monroe Crossing show on Saturday night? What's the show like?
Well, it's lively, family-oriented, but we play a lot of traditional bluegrass, from Bill Monroe, Flat and Scruggs, and we play a lot of originals, too, because we have some really good songwriters in the band. And then we do covers of other styles of music. We do the classic country, as you've been hearing. We do Prince's Purple Rain. We do My Girl by the Temptations, Etta James, At Last. We do Wake Up Little Susie by the Everly Brothers.
Awesome.
And we try to keep it fun and lively. We dress up in kind of 1940s attire. All the men wear 1940s or 50s ties. And we play around a single microphone, which is really fun. It adds a visual choreography element.
Is there a certain cover that gets the most response from an audience? There's got to be some. I would imagine My Girl from the Temptations really gets people going.
Oh, yeah. And, people, they're sitting there listening to bluegrass for 30 minutes, and all of a sudden we throw in that, and they go, wow, that's amazing.
It's unexpected, yeah.
It's really not that amazing. It's chord structure's not that different from anything else we play, but when we do the My Girl, we call it a mix between bluegrass and Motown, and so we call it Mo-grass.
Mo-grass.
Mo money, Mo problems. It all ties in together, yeah.
But no, the one, when people are at our CD table and they're looking at our CDs, they go, I can just tell by their facial expressions, they go, Purple Rain? Is that the one I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Well, I think that's what I have heard is so exciting about seeing Monroe Crossing live, and why I'm excited that people have this opportunity. That you guys not only take your craft very seriously, but you take having a good time very seriously as well. And I think that means that audiences leave feeling like they just had a really spectacular night of entertainment.
That's what we shoot for.
Well, that's what we love to hear. It's been a pleasure talking to you. We can't let you go before we play another song now. John, which one did you pick out?
I picked Wabash. Wabash Cannonball.
Wabash Cannonball.
That's a popular one. Thanks, guys, for having me on. It was a lot of fun.
And before you go, Matt, explain what Wabash Cannonball is about.
Matt, you got to know something here. I'm 44, so I know the Wabash Cannonball, but John, my friend here, is like 12.
I know
you're going to have to fill him in on the Wabash Cannonball.
I know it's not the swimming pool trick, so what's the Wabash Cannonball?
It's a train song made famous by Roy Acuff and the Smoky Mountain Boys, and it's a real common train song, popular with audiences, and there's a verse that mentions Minnesota.
Oh.
You have to listen quick.
All right, so now you're going to listen, John. Ready?
I've learned
John's
something
from Connecticut, so now we're going to make him listen to Minnesota words. All right, here we go.
Yes.
Matt Thompson, thank you so much for joining us. And for those of you that I just want to, before we let Matt go, you're going to be at the historic Potter Auditorium in Chatfield, Minnesota tomorrow night. It sounds like they're going to have wood-fired pizza, and they're going to have some drinks available. It's going to be a good time. Show's at 7:30, and to anyone that is on the fence about whether or not they come, Matt, what would you say to them right now?
The number one comment we hear is, I didn't think I liked bluegrass till I heard you guys.
Nice. It's always nice when you can convert to new fans.
Exactly.
All right, Matt, thanks so much.
This was fun.
This was fun. We appreciate it. It's Matt Thompson from the fantastic band Monroe Crossing, and here they are with the song Wabash Cannonball. John, enjoy it.
I will. I'm going to be dancing in the studio.
Thanks, Matt.
South Belle by the shore. She's mighty tall and handsome. She's known quite well by all. She's a regular combination called the Wabash Cannonball. Listen to the jingle, the rumble and the roar as she glides along the woodlands through the hills and by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of the engine, hear the lonesome hobo's call, traveling through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball. Say, from New York to St. Louis and Chicago by the way, from the hills of Minnesota where the rippling waters fall, no changes can be taken on the Wabash Cannonball. Listen to the jingle, the rumble and the roar as she glides along the woodlands through the hills and by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of the engine, hear the lonesome hobo's call, traveling through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball. Hear all people say, there's a gal here from Tennessee, she's long and she's tall. She just came down from Birmingham on the Wabash Cannonball. Listen to the jingle, the rumble and the roar as she glides along the woodland.